All right, so i- have you ever had this feeling like, you're putting your heart and soul into your business, but it's like nobody even knows you're there?
Yeah, like a best kept secret or something.
Exactly. Exactly. You're hidden away.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Like the best bakery in town. But nobody,
They're missing out.
exactly, they're missing out. And it's like just a couple blocks over, and it's like, come
That's
on.
a common struggle,
It
right?
is. And so today, that is exactly what we are doing a deep dive into.
A deep dive. Yeah.
That hyper-local content, that laser focus, that making sure that the people in your neighborhood
Right in your backyard.
know you exist
As
and
a
know why they should be coming to you.
Absolutely.
And we're even going to the source, right? We're going to be looking at some Google patents
We are.
to see how the big guys, are thinking about this and how we can use that to our advantage.
I love using their, I guess, playbook against them, so to speak.
Exactly. We're going to be looking at US 21 01 0250 500A1 and US 21 40337 225A1. A little mouthful there, but we'll break it down. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll break it down.
But we are also going to be talking about something that'll help you put all of this into practice.
Yes.
The GMB Crush 30 Days Ranking Challenge. It's all about taking all this theory and making it work for your business.
Actionable, right?
Actionable, exactly. So let's dive right in, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
The first thing, I'm looking at these patents, right? And one of the things that really jumped out at me is this idea of neighborhood-specific pain points. And I'm thinking, what
is that?
Yeah, what is that exactly? And how do we use that to our advantage?
Well, so, you got to really get into the nitty-gritty of your, micro community.
Yeah.
Like, what are their specific issues? For example, right? If you're in an area where parking is a nightmare.
Oh, I know those areas.
Right. Instead of just hoping people will circle the block for an hour, highlight your delivery options.
Oh, that's smart.
Right. Or let's say you're in a family-heavy neighborhood. Boom. You emphasize the kid-friendliness, maybe even a dedicated play area.
Oh, so like
Make them feel like you understand them.
you get them, right?
You get it, yeah.
Not just in a general sense, but like you're part of their neighborhood.
Exactly.
You understand their struggles, you understand their joys,
language.
and their language.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, imagine like a bakery, right? That's in a neighborhood where everybody calls subs hoagies.
Oh, I love that.
If they started using that in their online ordering,
It's just smart.
people would be like, these guys get us.
They're one of us.
Exactly. Like you've become an anthropologist of your own little,
Your little micro community.
your little ecosystem there, right?
It's fascinating stuff.
It is. Now, speaking of fascinating, let's get into this Google patent. Local search results with geographic customization. So it's very official, right? Like we need a decoder ring to understand it. But what I'm getting from it is Google cares a lot
Oh, they do.
about content being super relevant,
Hyper relevant.
hyper relevant to specific places. So how do they do that? What's the magic behind that?
So think of Google like a really, really good librarian.
Okay.
They know every book in the library,
Mm-hmm.
but they also know what you like to read.
Oh, that's a good librarian.
Right. And they take your location data,
Okay.
your past searches, even the content itself, and they figure out what to show you. It's like, hey, you love mysteries, and you're in New Orleans, so here's a book set in the French Quarter.
Oh, I would read that book.
Right.
So basically, instead of just searching bakery, I should be searching bakery on Elm Street or bakery near Central Park, right?
Precisely. You're giving Google those extra clues.
Right, like, hey, Google, I want the local gem.
Yes. And speaking of clues, that brings us to the other patent. Dynamic content personalization for local search.
Okay, another mouthful, but what's the gist?
It's like Google is saying, we want to give you the most relevant result possible, even if you don't know exactly what you're looking for. They're building a detailed profile of your preferences, even within that specific location.
So the more specific my content is, the better chance I have of showing up in those hyper-local searches.
You got it.
Okay, now I'm starting to see the power of those geo-modifiers.
Right.
Like mentioning specific streets, landmarks, even local events.
So it all paints a picture.
It tells Google and the people searching, hey, this is who I am, this is where I am, this is who I serve.
And don't underestimate the power of using those landmarks and events in your actual content.
Okay, give me an example.
Grab the best coffee before the farmer's market on Main Street. Suddenly, your coffee shop isn't just another place to get caffeine, it's part of the local experience.
I like that, I like that. All right, so we've got all this theory, but now let's get practical. How do we bring this hyper-localized magic to life? What are some concrete steps?
Think of your website and social media as your digital storefront, right? It needs to scream local.
Okay, how do we do that?
Instead of just saying family-friendly bakery, show it. Pictures of kids enjoying your treats, families celebrating birthdays. Use those geo-modifiers naturally. Come visit us on Elm Street right across from the park.
Right, paint the picture.
Exactly. And don't neglect your landing pages, the pages people land on after they click your ad or search result.
Right, because those are key for converting those local searches into actual customers, right?
Absolutely. Those pages need to ooze local flavor. A picture of your storefront with that recognizable neighborhood landmark in the background. Mention nearby attractions. Use the specific neighborhood name in the text.
It's all about creating that sense of place,
Right,
right?
exactly. You want people to feel like they're already there, already part of your community.
Now, earlier you mentioned a system for actually mastering this whole hyper-localized approach. Tell me more about this GMB Crush 30 Days Ranking Challenge.
It's like a workout routine, but for your Google My Business listing.
I love that analogy.
Every day, you focus on a different aspect. One day, it's optimizing photos. The next day, it's encouraging customer reviews that highlight your local charm.
So it takes all this amazing information and gives you a clear roadmap to follow.
Precisely. No more feeling overwhelmed, just step-by-step action.
That's what we like to hear. So we've covered a lot today. Google patents, hyper-localized content, those all-important geo-modifiers, and of course, the GMB Crush 30 Days Ranking Challenge. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Just this. Think about one hyper-local element you can add to your marketing today. Maybe it's updating your website copy or mentioning that nearby landmark in your next social media post.
Start small
Start small, think local, and watch your business grow.
and become that neighborhood favorite. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone.
See you next time.